Why won't they die? Why won't the Indiana Pacers go away? I don't know what it is about this team, but no matter what, they keep winning games. Tyrese Haliburton did it again. You might ask, Tyler, why are you so dejected? Look, I've been in Oklahoma City season ticket holder since the very first year. I was going to games when it was the Oklahoma City Hornets that one year. I don't know if there's ever been a time as a Thunder fan where I don't even know if it's disbelief. I don't even know if it's disbelief because they just kept coming back. They kept doing it. Every time the Thunder were supposed to go on a run, if you will, every time the Thunder were supposed to go on that run that they do, that normal 10-0 run, especially in that third quarter where they just kind of blitz you, Indiana would hit that 1-3, get that one stop that just continued to keep them in the game. And when that Tyrese Haliburton shot went up, I knew. 111, 110. Indiana goes up in the NBA Finals and still games won. Still games won. I don't even know where to start. Let's talk about Tyrese Haliburton. This dude is built for it. It's so intriguing because I was getting ready to come on here. Had the Thunder won, I was, kind of just thinking about my thoughts throughout the game. And I'm like, you have to get more from Haliburton throughout this game. He has to. It didn't feel like at times the impact was completely there, especially early on in this game. We found him. You found him. 14 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. I mean, I tell you what makes me, I think, the most shocked is we see, I made a video earlier this week, and the thing that I was talking about was the turnovers. Indiana turns the ball over 24 times in this game. 24. Oklahoma City turns it over 6 times, and yet it doesn't matter because the shot making overall for OKC was not there. 39%, 47% for Indiana. You look at the 3 points, 46%, 18 of 39 for Indiana. I mean, the way that Indiana did not force turnovers, but they made life very difficult for Oklahoma City tonight, and difficult enough to keep it close. Again, I mean, maybe there was times in this game where you kind of funnel everything through Shea to a point, right? And then at times Jalen Williams from an Indiana perspective. And it's not dissimilar to what they did against Cleveland, where they kind of make Donovan Mitchell beat them and nobody else can really get into a true rhythm. And yeah, certainly some players played well, like you have a Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, those type of players that are able to get into double figures. But you look at Jalen Williams, 6 of 19. Shea, 14 of 30, right? Only gets to the line 8 times in this game. Those are the type of things that you'll probably consider as wins if you're Indiana. And especially when you're turning the ball over that much. And I think it's important to note the types of turnovers that they were having, because you don't give up. What is it? This is very freestyling and raw reaction, but you only give up 11 fast break points. that's you turn the ball over 25 times and give up 11 fast break points. A lot of that has to do with those turnovers being dead ball turnovers. Yes, obviously you never want to turn the ball over, but the fact of the way that they were turning the ball over, it didn't negatively impact them as much because of Oklahoma City's struggles to score on the other end. And the way that Indiana was able to just walk Oklahoma City down, it felt like it was happening. You could tell. I'm like, it gets down to 9 points, it gets down to 6 points, and then you're down to 3. It's a 1 point game. Like, it just kept happening, and you're kind of waiting for the counterpunch. And in that entire second half, the counterpunch didn't happen. It didn't happen. So now, obviously Oklahoma City is favored in this season, or in this series, excuse me. Obviously, they have been, over the course of the season, the best team. My hope is, selfishly, This is the wake up call that they needed in this series. It's game one, NBA Finals. You can exhale to a point now, but also you have to lock in more than ever because you just lost game one of the finals that you should have won. Double-digit lead, and it just gets walked down. And you were able to stifle most of the Indiana runs throughout the majority of this game, and it just didn't matter. It didn't matter. I mean, you have Miles Turner hitting step back off the glass threes. Like, some of those things you're like, well, damn, what are you going to do about that? And I mean, you look at a player like, I thought Nembhard was really good in this game, especially on Shea, just making life difficult for him. He ends with 14-6. Neesmith as well, 10-12, right? How about Obi Toppin, who started off really poorly in this game. Those first couple of minutes were rough from Obi Toppin, but then ends 5 of 8 from 3, 6 of 9 overall with 17 points. I was getting ready to come on here, and about halfway through the game, and again, I mentioned, I was like, okay, well, you need to get more from Tyrese Haliburton, but then everyone else continued to step up. If you look, and I think the thing that really is kind of speaking to me right now, just looking at this box score, because it's not the turnovers in that way. First off, you have 3 players with over 10 rebounds for Indiana, but also you have 6 players in double figure scoring in comparison to 4, and 2 of those being Lou Dort and Alex Caruso for Oklahoma City. Normally speaking, that's not always the Thunder. That's not how they win. 2 of 9 from Chet Holmgren. You're gonna need more, right? I thought Isaiah Hartenstein, who came off the bench, and I thought it was super interesting for Mark Daigneault to go and make the first adjustment, starting Case and Wallace. I think overall, I like that move, and I like the way that Hartenstein came off the bench and was looking for his shot, but I am just in shock. I'm in disbelief. That doesn't happen to this Thunder team. This is a Thunder team that has taken really good care of leads, that has finished their food, but also at the same time, that's generally speaking. We've seen this a couple times now in the playoffs, in the Denver series, and in a different way if you're thinking in the terms of the wake-up call in the Minnesota series with the blowout. I trust in how Oklahoma City responds. I do trust that. But goodness, this feels brutal. And you already kind of made your adjustment to begin with. And that's what it's interesting for you to go and make the first move, right? And on one hand, like I thought Richard Jefferson was making an interesting point on the broadcast where it's like, Indiana, it's almost a source of confidence, but frankly, they didn't need confidence. They didn't need confidence. This team is special. And if nothing else, I hope that anybody that thought this was going to be a bad series is locked back in now, because goodness gracious. But I think the key takeaways first for Oklahoma City, I thought Lou Dort was fantastic in this game. I thought Alex Caruso was fantastic in this game, but you're going to need, whether it's a little bit better three-point shooting, it's not awful, but if Case and Wallace is going to be in the game, you probably need better of 0-3, right? You can't bank on Lou Dort going 5 of 9. That's not consistently what you're going to get out of Lou Dort. While he was great in this game, you have to find ways outside of Shea to make your life a little bit easier on offense. And a lot of that would presumably be in past games, a past series, is those points off turnovers. So how can you take those turnovers that you're getting and go and convert on them? I think is going to be the biggest thing. And again, I made a whole video about how I thought turnovers were going to determine this series. And yet, even with I don't have a stat, but I can't imagine there's been many more further turnover margins in a playoff game, and especially a finals game, and the Pacers still win. They're inevitable. They won't die. And if I'm looking from a Pacers perspective, I think you like a lot of what you do. I thought a lot of the Siakam mismatches that they were able to get when you put them on Kaysen. If you're gonna have Kaysen in the game, you're gonna have that size mismatch. And I thought he was really, really solid in this game, and that just that pass over the top whenever you kind of get that seal. Tyrese Haliburton, to me, it's interesting because I think in that first half, I still would want a little bit more aggressiveness from him. Yes, obviously he's a fantastic passer, facilitator. That's what he does. I could have used probably a little bit more in that first half from him. But I mean, look, that second half was an absolute walk down. I think the one thing that's going to be interesting going forward is seeing, because Oklahoma City was hunting Haliburotn on defense, and seeing how Rick Carlisle decides to play that and how that ends up looking in the sense of taking him off for some possessions and what that might lead to, or just when you need him on the court and the Thunder are hunting him. I mean, he was getting brought up in actions and pick and rolls and forced to defend Shea plenty of times throughout this game. But ultimately, Tyrese Haliburotn, more than anybody, gets the last laugh. He keeps getting away with it. Indiana keeps getting away with it. They are unreal, and they just simply won't go away. And while I still think Oklahoma City is going to win this series, while I picked Oklahoma City to win this series going into it, I never thought it was going to be some walkover or just some blowout series, because that is simply not the DNA of the Indiana Pacers. And I think if nothing else, on top of proving that they are capable of beating Oklahoma City, it proved once again that the Indiana Pacers simply won't die. I'll be in the building for Game 2. Maybe it's my fault. I'm here in Atlanta getting ready to cover Overtime Select for No Cast Space. Look, maybe it's my fault. I don't know. I'll be in the building for Game 2. I'll be back with thoughts on Game 2. And selfishly, biasedly, hopefully it's 1-1 by the time I come back and talk to you. But from a Thunder fan perspective, this is just absolutely ripped my heart out. But what are you going to do? You got to keep playing. So make sure you're tapped in here. Subscribe, like. Let me know your thoughts on this game. What do you think was the biggest reason that the Thunder were able to blow this lead, essentially, and get walked down and leading to that Tyrese Haliburotn game winner? Let me know what you think, and what would you change for either of these teams going into Game 2. Make sure you're tapped in all across the board. Social media, No Cap Space. Subscribe here on this channel, Talking NBA Ball, and I'll see you next time.